Today we're going to be comparing the video and photo quality of the iPhone versus the FX3. But before that, I want to compare the video quality inside my office. I do a lot of talking headshots for real estate because that's my main profession, and I want to show you the difference in quality inside this very office between the FX3 and the iPhone. Let's get right into it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to start with the iPhone footage, and as you can tell, the iPhone footage looks very good. The iPhone has come a long way, especially since when it started, and in my opinion, this is very usable. I think you can use this to create videos for YouTube, for real estate, for really anything. However, when you compare with the iPhone footage, it's not even close in my opinion. The iPhone footage looks very flat compared to the FX3 footage. Here we have them side by side, and as you can tell, the iPhone footage looks very flat in my opinion. Also, my shirt is a very dark black color, and you can tell that the iPhone in a way neutralizes this color, while the FX3 shows the true color of my shirt. And it does the same thing for skin tones. If you pay close attention to my skin tones on the iPhone, my skin tones have been neutralized. I almost look pinkish orange in a way, but with the FX3, those are my real skin tones. And the same thing you can see in the hair. This, in my opinion, ruins the footage if you're gonna do professional work, of course. If you're gonna do professional work, you do not want for your footage to look neutral or washed out. In my opinion, I'm outside. This is a video I took in a park here in Connecticut, and this is footage with the iPhone. And we have the same issue we had when we were inside the office. You could tell that the colors of the whole image have been neutralized, and I know why it does this. It's doing a lot of computation editing real time. So what it does is there's a lot of light coming from the sun, there's a lot of shadows, so it's trying to make everything look decent. And when you try to make everything look decent, it ruins, in my opinion, the film or the footage. So this is what it looks like on the iPhone, and this is what it looks like on my FX3. As you can tell, the colors look a lot more natural, the blacks are a lot more black, my skin tones have not been neutralized. And let me be honest with you, this I filmed overexposed, so I actually didn't film this correctly, and I was still able to bring it down and make it look a lot better than the iPhone. Here's the iPhone versus the FX3 side by side, and as you can tell, the FX3 looks a lot more lifelike. The blacks are a lot darker. I want you to pay close attention to this. Look at the tree shadows right over here. The tree shadows look a lot darker. Everything looks a lot more realistic. Look at my jacket, look at my skin tones, look at my hair. Everything, in my opinion, looks a lot better. Not only that, look at the bokeh, look at the blur in the background. There's no blur with the iPhone, but if you pay close attention, there's definitely blur in the background with the FX3. So if you're looking for that professional blur bokeh look, definitely the FX3 is a good option. This next shot is a shot of a tree filming directly at the sun. I wanted to see how the phone and the FX3 would deal with the sun reflecting directly on the lens. And this is the iPhone footage. And if you just show me this, I would say this looks very good. There's really nothing wrong with it. However, when you compare with the FX3, this is the result. This is with the FX3, and it looks a lot more full of color. It doesn't look neutral. The sky looks a lot more blown out. But if you were to look at the sky from this angle with your eyes, this is how it would look. Now, the iPhone does a great job of neutralizing everything, and this way you can see the color of the sky. But humans, we pick up on everything that doesn't look natural. And in my opinion, this does not look natural. As you can tell, there's almost like this white overlay that you get with putting a white overlay with a low opacity, and you just don't see this in real life. While the FX3 looks a lot more realistic. And here it is side by side. Tell me in the comments. I might be a little bit biased just because I like the FX3. I also like the iPhone, but tell me in the comments, which one do you think looks better, the iPhone or the FX3? The next shot is in the park. I saw this metal railing, which was extremely dark. There was the sky, and then there was the green trees. So I decided this would be a great picture to see the capabilities of the iPhone camera, because the iPhone camera, when it comes to photos, is a lot closer to professional cameras. So I took this picture, and it looks very good. You can even see that since the sun was right in front of us, we got a light streak, which a lot of people like. Now, this is what the FX3 looked like, and you can see that it has a lot more light streaks. Everything looks more natural. But with the FX3, it actually looks more washed out for some reason. In my opinion, this photo looks more like an iPhone photo than a professional camera, and the reason is the colors look more washed out, and that's what the iPhone is known for. While if you look at the iPhone photo has darker blacks, and the photo actually has more bokeh. In the photo department, in this specific photo, the iPhone, in my opinion, looks a lot better than the FX3. And here they are side by side, and you can see that the iPhone footage has more bokeh than the FX3. The colors are darker and there is more contrast. But what the FX3 does have better than the Sony is the light streak up here. The iPhone has one light streak, but the FX3 has multiple light circles, and I think that really adds to the image. The next thing we're gonna compare is not the video quality, not the dynamic range, nothing like that. The next thing we're gonna compare is stabilization. I filmed both of these attached to the same gimbal, and this is the result. So this is the FX3. As you can tell, it's definitely shaky. You can tell that it's being handheld, and this is the iPhone. The iPhone is a lot better. The iPhone, in my opinion, the footage looks almost like it was on a gimbal. Not exactly, but it's almost there. So if you're looking for something stable, on the go, extremely quick, definitely the iPhone wins. The FX3 is not even close when it comes to stabilization. Now, if you're gonna use a gimbal, then the FX3 is just as good or even better than the iPhone. But if you need something quick, you need something on the go, definitely use the iPhone. And here they are side by side. As you can tell, it's not even close. One looks shaky and the other one looks perfectly stabilized. Big difference, definitely. Stabilization goes to the iPhone. Here's another shot to compare the stabilization. Take a look. This is the iPhone and this is the FX3. Very shaky, it's unusable, but the iPhone is definitely usable. Now here it is side by side, so you can see the difference, and the difference is enormous. The FX3 picks up how shaky my hand is, while the iPhone does a very good job of keeping everything looking stable. Now the iPhone's not perfect, you can tell I'm walking, but that's because I'm just walking naturally. I'm not trying to be stable. I was really trying to see how it would look like if you just took it out and shot. Here's another shot of me just walking with the iPhone, and here it is with the FX3, and here it is side by side, so you can compare. Again, the iPhone's just a lot better in this department than the FX3. The final category, and the most interesting category in my opinion, especially since I edit my own videos, is how far can I push footage? One thing is how good it looks when you shoot it and you just put it into your video editing software. But how far can you push the footage and change it to look the way you want it to look? You might shoot on a sunny day, but you want the tone to be very serious, to be moody. Then you're gonna have to color correct drastically the footage. Depending on what you shoot it with, you might not be able to change the mood that much, because if you don't know, depending on the camera and how much detail the camera captures, the footage starts to break down and it starts to look very, very bad. So how far can we push the footage on the iPhone versus the FX3? Let's take a look. Here I added a color correction. As you can see, I upped the exposure because I want to stress the footage. As you can tell, the Sony looks very good. It looks cinematic. Yes, there's a little bit of overexposure on my head, but it's doing a very good job at making it still look good. While with the iPhone, you can see that I'm losing color on my cheeks. I'm starting to look pink and reddish on my cheeks, and it just looks very cheap. It looks very immature in my opinion. The Sony FX3 looks like it could be straight out of a movie, while iPhone 17 footage looks like just that, a GoPro or a iPhone camera footage. It's not impressive at all. It looks very flat. There's no depth, there's no detail to anything. Here I have the iPhone footage. This is without the split screen. This is just what it looks like, and it looks good. I'm not gonna say it looks bad because this footage is very usable, but this is what the same shot looks on the FX3, and that looks extremely better than the iPhone. Now everybody has an iPhone and not everybody has an FX3. The FX3 costs about $4,000, while the iPhone costs about $1,100, but everybody already has it. So for a lot of people, it's free. The main conclusion of me making this video is if you want higher quality, better footage, then definitely buy a professional camera. But if you're just starting off and you don't know if this is really what you want to do, I would just use my iPhone footage because it's just as usable. It's not as good, but it's just as usable. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.